Level by Level Gaming. We are in the shop here with one of our latest finds, and that is the Revolution X 1994 Aerosmith licensed game. And we picked this up as a non-working cabinet. My buddy Chris has got in here, worked really hard on it. We dug in, and here we have a working game. Now, it had the CRT in it. We sourced a LCD. What brand LCD is that, Chris? Do you remember? Yeah, it looks like. Okay. And we've got an LCD in there, which with the LCD, you have to have a conversion board. And if you look down in there, this is actually laying flat inside the cab, and it reflects off of a mirror, which we kind of debated back and forth whether we were going to keep it in this flat position down and reflect off the mirror, or you can actually mount this thing where we're looking directly at it. And I don't know, Chris, I kind of feel like it looks just fine off of the mirror. Now, my camera on my phone doesn't give it justice because there is a reflection. You can see me in the background talking and filming here, but it looks just fine to me in there. Something I didn't know, and I learned about this game and these boards, is the first thing Chris told me when we got it over to the shop. He's like, hey man, there's no IR sensor in here. And that means the way these things are mounted into this pedestal here, you got an X and Y axis, up and down, left, right. And the guns are actually not light guns. They are like joysticks or axis controllers, however you want to look at it, which makes having the LCD in here possible, because if you know how these light gun games work, they rely on a CRT monitor. Big Buck Hunter, Area 51, a lot of these other cabinets that we have. And those guns, if you notice, those guns on those games are not on a pedestal affixed like this. Those guns are on a cable, and you have some type of holster or something that keeps the gun on the cabinet. These are mounted like this. So there was a couple things now that we know that are dead giveaways, that it's not a light gun game. Now, Chris, what cabinet did you say this was a sister cabinet to?
The T2 was the original cabinet, so the Terminator 2 cabinet can be converted to the Revolution X.
Nice. And those are Midway games, correct? So this is a Midway cab. Awesome. Man, I couldn't be happier with this find. It was a, would you call it a garage find, or
Garage find?
Yeah, storage building find, project cab for somebody else. They just didn't have the time to put into it, so we picked it up from them, and here we go. I am super digging this thing. The 90s nostalgia for me on this is just through the roof, and I think Aerosmith right now is in a farewell tour. We'll see if it's a farewell, final farewell tour. Who are we talking about that had like 5 farewell tours? AC/DC. Who were we talking about? We were talking about somebody the other night while we were just hanging out that's had like multiple Motley Crue and all these other bands. Doing some research on my own into this cabinet, this actress that plays on here is the same actress as is it Sonya Blade? Is that her name? Sonya on Mortal Kombat. So when they digitized these characters models into these games, she's the actress that played that, and she's been in multiple other video game titles. She plays the big baddie on here. And we took about an hour and a half once we got this thing going to play through it, and it said we didn't unlock one of the band members, so we weren't the ultimate rockers, and that we need to play back through. This game, for me, had a lot of interactivity. It had multiple paths that you can take, and interacting with the environment was really cool. We just had a really good time with it. Where we're going to go with this cabinet now is there is some color adjustments that are going to have to be done. Like I said, what translates in through this reflection into the camera on my phone and what I'm seeing with the naked eye is there's a little bit of a pink tint to the whites.
Yeah, that's it.
And we're losing a bit of the top edge of the screens, the bottom edge of the screen. So there are some things. We could black out the logo on that LCD so you can't see it. Just little things to button this cab up. Get the aspect down to where we're getting everything on the screen, because you can see like push start to play and the spinning Revolution X logo there are all off the screen. Just a tad though. It's not terrible, but there's just some finishing touches. Get the color right. Get the monitor mounted in there good. And we can roll on with this. So let's get just a little bit of gameplay. Chris, what do you think?
Sure.
I'll do what I can with one hand. There are actuators in these guns. I don't know if you can hear it really well, but there is a thump that you can feel inside of these guns. When you pull the trigger, it's got a thump to it. And then these yellow buttons on the side are how you shoot the grenades, which the grenades on this game are CDs. And it just has so much 90s cant to it. It is amazing. Oh, well, we got to hit the cat. You hit the cat for bonus points and bouncing back and forth. The premise of the game, from what I'm gathering, just that playthrough that we did, is there's, I guess they're aliens or something that are the New World Order that are against music, and they are going to kidnap the band here in a moment, and we have to save the band members and destroy the New World Order. I mean, there's killer clowns, there are ooze monsters. It is just 90s to its best. You hit these boxes here and you unlock CDs, and then you can shoot the CDs at these tanks. Let's see if I'm doing this one hand here. Don't give up! Don't give up! Alright. So anyway, that's just a little insight into Revolution X. I'm going to go one more time around the cabinet and just show some of this artwork and show just like the band member here. You got Steven Tyler on the very top there. You've got a picture of the band members. 1994, just a little snapshot into what was going on there. And these are I believe the same guns, like Chris was saying, for T2. We are kicking around the idea of possibly dual boarding this game and having it in a way that we can switch back and forth. If you had T2 in there, doing some kind of button or something on the back, having like a switch that would take it back and forth, and you could have a hidden T2 cabinet in there. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for Revolution X. Well, yeah, we want to look in the back a little bit? Yeah, let's look in the back. Let's do some little bit of bonus here. It's not cleaned up and buttoned down by no means. So see, you can kind of see that purple tint a lot better without the reflection. With the image being inverse, the mirror reflects everything backwards, right?
Yeah,
so
it appears right.
It appears right side up whenever you're looking at it from the front. And wait a second.
It's an AOC monitor.
AOC. All right, so it is an AOC monitor. And then here is the old CRT that is still mounted. We've just got this propped up. We will come up with a better way to get this thing mounted in there.
Remember, music is a weapon.
Music is the weapon. There's the board. When it first come on, there were some chips that it wouldn't get past it wouldn't get past the startup and boot up, and that's one of the reasons why the gentleman sold it to us. He just didn't have the time to put into it, and we got it to get it going again, and we just kind of reseated the chips and rolled on with it. So there's the board. Where's that conversion? Can you see it? Oh, here we go. So it's not mounted to anything yet, but there is a small conversion board here to take it from the CGA to HDMI to be able to hook into this modern monitor. I didn't really get in here, Chris. Did you find any kind of goodies, or you've been in this back of this cabinet more than me? No old quarters or no
manuals or anything like that.
Okay.
I found the manuals downloaded.
So all the manuals we have for it were downloaded.
Yep.
Sometimes you get in these old cabs, guys, and you get a surprise, like a really cool old quarter, or some type of manual or nostalgia. And sometimes you get in here in these cabinets where something totally different than what you first started with. But that would be really hard to pull off, being that the only two cabinets this ever was T2 and Aerosmith. All right, and then that's a look from inside the cabinet. Well, there's a little bonus content, so I didn't end the video a little short. We went a little bit further in, and we will definitely do a follow-up video showing this thing all buttoned up, cleaned out, color's good, and show you guys what it looks like. Hopefully that will be on another gaming event. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, let us know what you think in the comments. Out.